Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Merch Hunter Ricky back, and I just want to quickly talk about the Holy Knights. Very recently in the anime, we got Garling as far as like even the English dub. Like the dub is caught up to the anime now, or to the manga now. But Garling's colored outfit has been revealed. It's like a dark blue robe with like a red inside. So thinking of that alone makes me wonder if the rest of the Holy Knights, specifically the three currently on Elbaf, do they wear dark blue as well, or does maybe every Holy Knight have a different color scheme? Another thing to wonder about is when recently in the latest chapter, Sommers mentioned that he was the dagger of Elbaf, or sorry, the dagger of Mary Joie. Now, is that a title or is he just speaking metaphorically? These two things specifically make me think of Brook, because Brook immediately pegged Gunko for a Holy Knight. Before recognizing her in a different level, obviously, he recognized her as a Holy Knight. Now, if Garling's outfit mirrors what everyone else is wearing, especially maybe Shamrock, Gunko, Sommers, and Killingham, if they're wearing a dark blue cloak, dark blue clothing, I think Killingham has a turncoat like Sabo, and Sommers has like almost like an Impel Down-esque outfit, but more badass with like a rose, which is reminiscent of his devil fruit. If they're wearing the dark blue with the red inner linings, Brook would have immediately pegged it right away if he had encountered the Holy Knights before, which he seemingly has. This is just to postulate, or is that the right word? It could be. We'll look it up. This is just to say that the Holy Knights wear one uniform color. And if they don't, I'm wrong. It's not a big deal. But going with the line of thinking that they do, right? That would mean that they have like a uniform scheme, and a uniform scheme will probably lead to like a hierarchy within the group. Like CP0 didn't really have like a group hierarchy until, the like Fukuro labeled them all via power level, but they all wore solid black suits, right? CP0, they all wear white now, So CP9 was in all black. I guess all of CP minus CP0 is in all black suits, and then CP0 is in all white, and they wear like a mask typically. And like the government is just known for having these interesting sort of like almost pointless outfits, right? So if Garling's clothing in the anime is the clothing that at least the color that all Holy Knights adhere to, then it would be really easy to say, okay, Brook pegged Gunko because he noticed the dark blue jacket with the red inner lining. That could be that, right? It's just simple as that. But how does Brook know the Holy Knights? And, he said he's the leader of a certain convoy of a certain country. Well, I don't know what certain country it is. I don't have an idea. I don't have the faintest clue where he could be from. I don't think he's from God Valley. He might have been from a country that was previously hunted on, sure. But for the most part, I just don't think that Brook is from God Valley. I think that because, like his people, they were goofy. They were just playing music, but they did get poisoned, when they died. So someone was after them, and they didn't stick around to loot the ship either. They just poisoned them and left. So it's like almost like they were, like a hit was taken out on them, which is interesting because if you think about it that way, it definitely could have been a government hit. Like, why did Brook die? Brook knows the Holy Knights. He has weird knowledge, like, he always says stuff like Roger was a rookie. I never heard of anyone disliking Alabasta. You know what I mean? Shout out Brook. Gotta show off some of my Brook merch. I don't have that much of it. Okay, so going with the line of thinking that the Holy Knights wear a dark blue pattern with a red lining on the inside, Brook has seen them before. Does he know how to stop them? My guess is no. My guess is they had to hightail it out of there. Maybe it was his crew, Sabaody. Not saying that the people who killed him had anything to do with the Holy Knights, but maybe the world government put a bounty out on Brook's crew. Hey, we're tired of these guys. They know too much. They've seen too much. Yada, yada, yada. And a crew came out, poisoned the hell out of them. And, just the fact that they were so sure in Brook's crew's death just makes me wonder, like, okay, so, the world government probably paid whoever out. If it was another band of pirates, maybe Brook mentioned that. I don't remember Brook's backstory too well, like all the full details of it. I just know, Laboon, They sang when they died and they were hit by poison arrows. I don't remember if he said it was a rival pirate crew or not. But the fact that the people who killed Brook's crew is just kind of striking, to also Brook being the convoy leader of a certain country, that he was given the Yami Yami no Mi, and his crew, they all knew. So either he took it accidentally, or he took it with intent, because they knew about the fruit. Maybe Brook ate it then figured it out, obviously. Like, that's a possibility too, I mean. But it would make more sense if they were like, nah, man, we need you alive for XYZ reasons, right? And that's also been a theory. I think Dawn of the World, I don't know if she YouTubes anymore, but she made a really good theory on that a long time ago. Part 2 of this video is basically about how to stop the Holy Knights, because we saw how to stop the Gorosei, which was exhaust their regeneration capabilities to the point where they are jettisoned back to Mary Joie. And I mean, we don't even know if that's actually how it works. That's just postulation. That's just thinking. That's just how it seemed, Maybe they only had an hour for their summoner to work. Obviously, in Elbaf, they've been there for a much longer period of time, so maybe it's not a timeout issue. It's more, I think it's more of like a damage reduction, or a damage taken versus how much regeneration they've done, right? Like a fighting game health bar. You can take so much damage in a fighting game, any amount of unrealistic damage just to your body, but once your health bar reaches 0, you're done, right? So maybe that's how the regeneration works at the same time. I'm wondering because Mars did not take a lot of damage, but he got super yeeted by Luffy, right? He was powered up. He went into Gear 5. Mars blew almost like a Boro breath at him, and Luffy came out looking scary as hell and just grabbed Mars and was like, "You're fucked, bro." And then, Gum Gum ballooned his ass. Sanji, I think Bonnie and Frankie all punched into Luffy, and Sanji kicked, but they all struck Luffy at the same time Luffy jettisoned Mars. So I don't think that Mars was literally physically flung back to Mary Joie, but he took so much damage in that little amount of time that he had exhausted all of his regeneration, right? So after that, what happened? We saw that Emmett did the hockey rope and completely nullified whatever the Gorosei had going on. And Saturn specifically, I mean, how many times did that mofo regenerate, right? Like, does he even have armament hockey? Is he so cocky that he didn't need it, that he let his regeneration exhaust itself? Was he not expecting people to fuck him up? Because that's what it seems like, I mean, he literally got the 1-2'd by just about every possible Straw Hat, if not every single Straw Hat, minus Robin, who was too traumatized when she saw him. So I'm wondering if this damage thing goes back to the Holy Knights, right? The Holy Knights on Elbaf, are they there under the same rules? Taking a bunch of damage will send you back to Mary Joie. And if it does, how much damage can the Holy Knights take versus how much could the Gorosei take, right? Because I feel like the Gorosei, as old men, and they had their full transformations and all that, they maybe had a little bit less damage to deal with. We haven't seen a Holy Knight transform. Instead, they all seem to have devil fruit powers, and I don't know if they're all confirmed actual devil fruits, right? We saw that Gunko was an arrow person. We saw that Sommers was a Thorn Man, and we saw that killing him was a mythical Zoan Kieran. He was a Kieran, but it didn't really say devil fruit, or it didn't say. Maybe it did. I'll put it up to make it clear, and I'll probably do like an edit to explain if they did or not. But I just remember Gunko's being an arrow woman. I don't know if it said arrow fruit user, Anyways, like, are their powers actual devil fruits, or are they borrowed from Emu, seemingly, just like how when Saturn got his powers taken away from him? And is that even what happened to Saturn? Did he get his powers taken away, or did Emu just straight up kill him, and it had nothing to do with Saturn being able to transform into a spider Gyuki, right? Just like, when they showed the Gorosei, they didn't say mythical Zoan. They just said Gyuki, Bakotsu or something like that, Sandworm, whatever the boar one was, and whatever Mars was. I don't remember their names perfectly, but the bird, the giant boar, the giant sandworm, like the horse, the fucking undead skeletal horse. God, so scary. So like, how much of their powers come straight from Emu versus how much of their powers are actually theirs, right? Because this could also lean into how much damage can they take before getting jettisoned off Elbaf. Because if that's the case, it's just going to be like a fighting game, right? We just got to make sure Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, and maybe Jinbei get out there and start doing that work. Also, we saw that Usopp is kind of that guy. Let's say, how many how many skull bomb grasses can Gunko take, right? Can she take 100? Can she only take 10? That's a good question, because Gunko already exhausted 1 regeneration, right? So she's regenerated once. We saw Saturn regenerate roughly, I think, 7 times, if I remember correctly. I'll go back and check. I'm pretty sure it was 7, though. Unless we're counting every single attack the Straw Hats made on him during the Protect Robin scene, because Nami blew his face off, Usopp blew his face off, Brook cut his leg off, Chopper was blocking shit. I mean, Frankie shot a laser clean through him. Kuma blasted his arm and his face off. I mean, he really got the 1s and 2s put on him. It was very embarrassing. So if I were to count all that up just off memory, Kuma blowing his face and his arm off, that's 1 regeneration. Frankie impaling him with a radical beam, another regeneration. The Protect Robin scene, that would be Nami, Usopp, and Brook, right? That's 5. And then I'm almost positive Luffy did something. Luffy blew him up with his own... he hit him with his own pimp. He shot the venom bombs back at him, which also affected 2 other Gorosei, the boar and the sandworm. So that's a 6th regeneration. And then I'm pretty sure that something else happened. Oh yeah, he got eviscerated by Bonnie and Luffy in the Double Gear 5 punch combination. So 7, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 7. It reminded me, I don't know why 7 stuck out to me, but I remember that's how many times he regenerated. I don't know if there's more. If there's more, let me know down below. But yeah, all of those combined together maybe was just too much for him to handle, right? And because of this, Emu was like, not only have you exhausted your power, but you failed me utterly. So without your ability to regenerate, I now strip you of everything. Maybe that's how it worked, right? Maybe prior to that, Emu couldn't just take the life back. Who knows, right? But the rest of the Gorosei, they only regenerated a handful of times, maybe 2 or 3 each. And like I said, Mars didn't even really take damage the whole time. He just got flung backwards. The boar, I think the boar got beat up, never had to regenerate until Luffy blew the venom bombs back at him. Same with the sandworm regenerated at least 2 to 3 times, because the giants cut him in half, or at least his head off, to free Luffy. And then he was part of the venom bomb, so at least 2 or 3 times. Anyways, so how much damage can they take? Because Saturn regenerated 7 times, roughly, if not a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure the ones I counted, full 7. So Gunko's already exhausted 1, if you catch my drift. So she's got 6 regenerations left before she's back at the Holy Land. And if, I'm a betting man, I bet a giant can get their hands on her, or Scopper Gaban once he's done with Sommers. So if they all have between 7 and 10 regenerations, more or less, they're not going to do that well once the new giant warrior pirates, Loki, and the monster trio get up. But that's up to Oda on how fast we get them. But this is just a video to say that I'm pretty sure that the Holy Knights are in over their heads, and their uniforms signaled to Brook what it was before he realized who Gunko was. The color of their uniform, dark blue with a red inner lining. That's what Garling is seen wearing in the anime. So I hope and I assume that is what they all wear. That's just my guess. Let's see. Then, let's see if the damage theory that I have is the same. Is it 7 regenerations? Is it 10? It definitely ain't 20, It's not 20. So, that's pretty much it. The coffee I drank a little bit ago is really hitting. So let me stop rambling. You guys have a good night. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe if you don't mind. It really helps push out the channel. And relevant links down below. If you want to join in the Discord to yap a little bit, go ahead. I will welcome you with open arms. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.